So I don't think this rally is a very special rally. This is a rally for ants. So the real rally is when we go to 1 million. And that is when the spot ETFs are approved and we have tens of billions, maybe hundreds of billions of dollars inflowing to Bitcoin in a very short time frame. I'm talking about weeks and or days to weeks. So that is the real rally. But to answer your question, the driver, I think, for this uptick in Bitcoin price movement is family offices and institutional buyers. Um, Maybe not in the US, but more in Europe and other places around the world. So, what we've been hearing is that a lot of family offices have started allocating to Bitcoin in $3 to $5 million chunks. And this is what is sustaining the demand right now. But I think that's going to change when the spot ETFs are approved, because then you unlock the US institutional capital, and that has been waiting for a long time to get into Bitcoin. Right, so I said it is highly possible that Bitcoin does reach 1 million after spot ETFs are approved. So for me, for my prediction, the catalyst is that unlocking of a torrent of capital to pour into Bitcoin in a very short time frame, because it also looks like all the ETFs are going to be approved on the same day, if not in a very short time frame. So what you do is you're hitting a very limited supply of Bitcoin on the exchanges and available for purchase with a torrent of money. So it's basically supply shock multiplied by demand shock, and that gives you price shock. So this is why you can go really high all at one time. And we've seen Bitcoin go up 20x in about 9 months back in 2016, 2017. So it's not unheard of that Bitcoin price appreciates by 20x. I think when you said I'm doubling down, I was critiquing or commenting on Balaji's prediction earlier this year about Bitcoin going to 1 million. But his prediction was predicated on banking collapse and money printing. But my theory is that money printing is sort of like boiling the water very slowly. You crank up the temperature very gradually. So it's not a shock to the system. And it takes years for that to kind of permeate the economy and people to understand that money has been printed. 1 million run up with the ETFs is a shock to the system. It's not that slow boil where you heat it up gradually. It is cranking it up to thousands of degrees all at once. And this is why I think you can run up to 1 million. The Bitcoin network and all the things around it is on a very long time horizon. So I said that they're not interesting. I said that they'll probably disappear in a few months, and they did for some time. And now it seems like there's some new capital coming in, and people are minting stuff again. So it's really just like any altcoin project. They have ups and downs, and they're quite volatile in terms of demand and interest. And it's really just a group of people pushing for adoption. I don't think there's any real usage of it. It's just, if you look at ordinals, it's what BSV people. They're building all the software. It's a lot of people from Ethereum and other blockchains that want to do these types of things. It's not really the Bitcoiners that are interested in this. It's just some people saying, this is now on Bitcoin and now it's interesting. But I think I said before in the last interview, they'll move on to something when there's something new, because they have to find something new.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. But we have Samson, and we know he's the old CEO of Blockstream. Those who've been with me from the beginning have done plenty of videos. And we know he's not going to give us the whole truth. We know Blockstream manipulated the block size of Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin could have scaled. It's in the white paper. But we knew there was a bigger agenda behind Bitcoin. And we know that's the fourth industrial revolution. But can Bitcoin hit 1 million once the Bitcoin ETF is approved? Me personally, no it can't. We already have spot Bitcoin ETFs. And we know United States corporations have no problem with investing in investment products overseas. They don't have to wait for it to be approved in the United States. But we saw Bitcoin go from 17,000 to 42,000 based off of BlackRock coming in with a spot Bitcoin ETF, Fidelity. And we know who's behind that pump. That's right, the Fed. So we don't have to guess when and how Bitcoin is going to hit these big 100,000 numbers, 500,000 numbers, $1 million numbers. Only thing we have to do is follow the Fed. I can't say it enough. But we will definitely get a spot Bitcoin ETF soon. Whether it's January, whether it's March, guys, sit back, get your popcorn, and let it play out. Because we know Gary Gensler is a chess piece for the NWO. His job is to kick the regulation can down the road and also keep the casino open as long as possible. Because we know next year, China and the emerging markets are going to flip the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. And remember what I told you guys, these nations already devalue their currencies, and now you're going to walk into hyper deflation. Like I stated, something we've never been through in our lifetime. Grandparents didn't go through it. Grandparents didn't go through it. With them bringing in the machines, it's going to increase productivity. And of course, the people are going to be sitting at home getting that free money and waiting for the entrance to the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Identifying a major risk that artificial intelligence could have on the U.S. financial system. Deirdre Bosa spoke to one AI startup founder about that, the subject of today's Tech Check. D.
Hey, David, let me lay the ground for this. Now, all year, mega cap tech has been in this AI arms race, the search for the best model, the best tools for customers. But another idea here is emerging, and that is the idea that relying on just one large language model, it's risky. Here was Gary Gensler on your show yesterday.
If the markets are relying on directly or indirectly one base model, that could lead to real problems in finance and a future financial crisis.
New this morning, the Financial Stability Oversight Committee warned that, quote, the reliance of AI systems on large data sets and third-party vendors introduces risks related to data controls, privacy, and cybersecurity. Now, it is something that Amazon has been touting this year, the idea that there won't be one model to rule them all. We spoke to a founder that is building his company on that very idea. Builder.ai, kind of like AI for dummies, that draws from a number of LLMs, large language models, to build apps in a very non-technical way.
While the U.S. fights inflation, China struggles with deflation, and that's translating to lower pricing at the factories.
Welcome back to Power Lunch. Turmoil continuing at Citigroup. Our Hugh Son just learning the company has told most employees to work from home for the final 2 weeks of the year. And while that might sound nice, it's worrying some. CNBC.com banking reporter Hugh Son joining us now on set.
Steve, it's great to be with you. Yeah, so this is sort of a holiday gift from Citigroup CEO Jane Fraser. She says, listen, everybody's tired of the year we had. You can take the last 2 weeks, December 18th to 29th. You can work from home. You can work remotely from anywhere in the country in which you work. Mm-hmm. Now, the context of that and where the reality kind of runs into the facts here is, she's got this Project Bora Bora, right? She's got this reorg project in which...
Can we stop? Bora Bora. Let's think of a worse name to call, or a less ominous name to call a corporate restructuring.
Steve, you don't think the Tahitian sands and the azure waters of Bora Bora are good?
I don't know. It just
for cutting thousands of jobs.
Exactly. Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.